Now this is part of the game that none of us spend enough time practicing. 60% of your shots are from 60 yards in. Where do you find most of us? Down the driving range, walloping the driver. If you want to bring your scores down, this is the place to be. But when you're a novice, it can happen to experienced players as well, but when you're a novice, when you're chipping, you hit a dreaded shot called the shank. And a shank is a horrible thing because the ball just scoots off at almost 90 degrees to your intended target line. Now, you'll have heard the phrase that a shank is mental. Nonsense. The first shank you hit is for a physical reason. Having hit one, it does then become mental. So the first shank is physical, it's shanks 2 and so on that become mental. So let me show you why we shank. We shank when we set up to chip, we go back a bit too far, we roll the face, and the ball goes over there out of the hosel of the club. It's called a loosey locket, a socket, or a Thomas the Tank shank. So this club was not designed to roll. If you go back rolling, then you hit the shank. Horrible. So how does Explanar fix that? Well, of course, we need to go to the short power roller. The sand iron is the shortest club in the bag, and we pull the power roller parallel to the sand iron, and now I can simulate the sand iron swing. Now, what I'm going to do is set Explanar in its most upright plane, because I've got the shortest club in the bag. So I take my grip at the bottom of the roller, and again I check that the swing plane goes through my upper sternum. That has been the common theme. Now, I don't have the option. I'm not allowed to swing flat, because when I swung flat, I swung rolly, and that's very dangerous. I've got the safety now of the Explanar, the protection of the swing plane. So here's the Explanar's most upright plane. Here's me using the shortest roller at the bottom of the handle, and now I just work the roller backwards and forwards. It's not much more than putting, but you can see that the club is tracking on a very accurate back and through motion. It comes a little bit inside, going back, because the swing is not a dead straight line, but can you see that my forearms are not rolling? When the forearms roll, then we've got great trouble, we hit the shank. If we can keep the forearms passive, we're doing well. Now this is chipping inside Explanar because there's no wrist hinge. If you're shanking your pitches, then just cock your wrists. That's how you make a pitch shot. You add wrist hinge. So when you're practicing chipping, there is no wrist hinge. Zero wrist hinge. When you're pitching, you add wrist hinge in. You can see it. I've cocked my wrist. So chipping is non-wristy and pitching is wristy. But whether you're chipping or pitching, the critical thing is to understand that the plane is upright. If the plane is upright, the swing is direct. There's no forearm rotation. So let's go back now to my sand iron and hit a little chip. And my muscles, I can feel the roll. I can feel it in my forearms. I can feel the posture. And now I go straight back and straight through. And the ball pops up in the air with loads of spin. I'm not saying that's easy, but you know what? It is simple.